Let's get ready for Fight Night! I am your host, the friendly neighborhood Roman Empire, coming to you with a new episode of MFW Fight Night. Thank you for joining me once again, all you loyal MFers who keep coming back and making this such a fun experience each and every time I put out a new episode. We have quite a bit of action for you today, right here in San Francisco, California. That was my terrible Arnold impression as we kick off with singles action. Fresh off an unfortunate defeat in a steel cage match at Bulletproof with the Omega level champion Batman, Arkham Knight looks to redeem himself, get back into winning form by taking on a former protege of the Dark Knight himself, Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, the first Robin, the original Boy Wonder. Both men with an opportunity to potentially get themselves in the title picture. But for Nightwing to do that, he has to go through the man who just contended with his former mentor in a steel cage, and that is no easy feat. Arkham Knight, if he wants to get back into that title picture, gonna have to work his way back up after that unfortunate and rather sound defeat at the hands of Bruce Wayne. As we ring that bell and kick things off, coming in hot with that spinning European uppercut. If you remember that steel cage tag team match with the Outlaws, as well as the battle royal we saw in the last Fight Night featuring Red Hood's first singles match, we saw a lot of those spinning European uppercuts, which might lend credence to the idea that this Arkham Knight, rather than the mysterious figure, there's another one, a mysterious figure from the comic books, might actually be Jason Todd of the Arkhamverse, using a very similar running offense to Red Hood. Evidence, if not confirmation, at the very least, certainly lends credence to the theories. Right now, Nightwing in control, despite the early aggression of Arkham Knight to start off this match. Oh, wait a minute. Going for a Hurricane Rana. Arkham Knight regaining control with a big move. Obviously very similar training, similar skills these two men have, as particularly if Arkham Knight is Jason Todd. Two former Robins. That spinning neckbreaker there makes them both very compatible opponents. Almost twisted mirror images, funhouse mirrors if you will. Oh, went for a knee. Nightwing dodged out of the way. Went for a quick pin. You saw the knee buckle on Arkham Knight on the way down. A nasty looking landing after attempting that knee to the jaw. Nightwing, we could be seeing the Moonstomp. No, misses. Ducks underneath it. Oh, and Arkham Knight apparently is done. Doesn't look like he's interested in continuing this match. Guess he decided it's not worth his time. Arkham Knight walking to the stage. Yeah, it looks like he's done with it. He's just gonna hand this one to Nightwing by countout. I don't think either man's gonna be satisfied with this, but I suppose a win's a win. I really don't know what to say about this. Well, while we're here, we mentioned that Ultimate Contingency Plan briefcase, the Fight Night briefcase match for Infinity. It'll be an 8-man ladder match. Somebody can earn that briefcase, and within it, the plans necessary, if one were to follow it, to almost guarantee a championship reign. Still watching here. Doesn't look like he has any interest in coming back. Already at an 8 count. Speaking of that ladder match, though, as we wind down, and it's pretty much guaranteed to be a 10 count here. Speaking of that, we will have a qualifier in part 2 of this Fight Night. It'll be a singles match between Red Skull and Captain America. However, Nick Fury has warned if there are any shenanigans, he has every right to throw out the decision. So we'll see what happens, if they abide by that or if they attempt to push their luck, as we've seen Hydra do on many occasions. But that is the future. Let's focus on the present as Dick Grayson celebrates an albeit technical victory. We move on to the Vigilante division, particularly the #1 contender and former Vigilante champion making his way to the ring right now, the mystery man known as Vanguard. Vanguard set to take on someone who recently debuted with a big victory over Magneto, who put out an open challenge. Black Panther, King T'Challa of Wakanda, Wakanda forever, all that. Picked up a big win with the Wakanda Kinshasa right across the face of Magneto, ending things decisively. Now looking to continue that win streak by taking on the #1 contender and former champion, who looks to face the current champion, as we saw based on the distraction during a match with Scarlet Spider. Looks to take on Daredevil and regain that championship. Obviously, if Black Panther can win here, puts him in a great position to perhaps make that a triple threat match or to insert himself before the former champion. We don't necessarily guarantee rematches here. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's just how the cards fall here in the multiverse. But let's get ready for singles action. These two planning to put on what I expect to be a match of the night candidate. Storm obviously in the corner of Black Panther. Ooh, went for a bicycle knee and caught. Storm, Aurora Monroe, Queen of Wakanda by marriage, these two. A couple, obviously, known as the Gods of Wakanda. Supporting her husband in this matchup. Could be a game changer, codebreaker already. Early on with the high impact offense. Obviously, Vanguard very strike heavy and submission specialist in his style versus the more acrobatic. Oh! Face buster with the famouser. But as I was saying, more strike heavy and submission based versus a great deal of the Vigilante division, which focuses on more acrobatic styles. Going into that triangle armbar and being lifted up, slammed down to break it. We see that triangle armbar, or a version of it at least, utilized very successfully by Black Canary recently in tag team action. Another member of the Fight Night roster, those two young women on Warzone a lot, looking for contenders for those undisputed women tag team titles, which go over both brands. Ooh, Vanguard with that arm drag. Imagine. It was a little weird. It looked like he lost his footing, Black Panther. Slipped right on his face, but he made up for it with that clothesline. Sending #1 contender tumbling to the outside. Oh, picking the leg. Nice roll. Talked about that acrobatic style, that agile quickness of Black Panther. Brawling in front of our announce table here. Ooh, went for a drop kick but dodged. That's the quickness to react from the King of Wakanda. Vanguard wisely getting back in the ring. Storm seems to be quite pleased with how things are going. Oh, made the mistake of taunting only to get hung up on the ropes. Got a little overconfident there. Oh, and a shooting star. Perhaps a move learned from fellow Avenger Captain Marvel. See a fishing maneuver. Yes, that's right, she's a fisher. Wait, Wakanda Kinshasa! Right across the face. Is that going to be it? Only a 2 count. We were talking about fishing maneuvers, I believe. That's right, 'cause she's expert fisherman. But what I meant was finishing maneuvers. Obviously, potentially shared some training with other Avengers like Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. That you have to imagine not as much impact as somebody who utilizes it as a finishing maneuver. Taking Vanguard up to the top turnbuckle here. Oh, Tree of Woe position. Right into a dropkick, wasting no time. Giving no time for the former champion to reverse it. And now going up again. Could we see it again? Yeah. Oh, the knees are up this time. Went to the well one too many times. Vanguard was waiting for it. Caught him with the knees. Oh, he was going into the vantage point. It looked like he was going right into the vantage point, but I guess he must have been shoved off. Black Panther and Vanguard fighting it out. And now Vanguard's bailing. I thought better of this man. What is going on? Everybody in these matches so far just doesn't seem to want to have the match be decided. Oh, but there's Daredevil. Matt Murdock not about to let that happen. Tossing him back into the... I'm not sure why the ref didn't disqualify him. There was a very clear right hand to the jaw of the former champion from the current champion. And now this chimera series of suplexes. German into a dragon, into a straight jacket. German! And into the pin. Oh, only a 2 count. Vanguard looked like he was ready to leave too, maybe taking a page out of the playbook of Arkham Knight, but Daredevil said, nah, not about to happen. Assisting fellow Marvel Knight, members of an unnamed group brought together to bring down the Punisher. Black Panther. Wakanda Sunrise. Now stomping away at Vanguard, begging him to get back up. Suddenly new life breathed into Black Panther here. He almost got hit with a finisher there, as we saw. Looked like a jumping DDT reversed into a Russian leg sweep. Almost got hit with that vantage point, was shoved off, got into a brawl. Oh, could we see it again? Kinshasa! You can tell I love saying it. 1, 2, oh, 2.9! Ever so close to the finish there. Magneto was taken out with that very first Wakanda Kinshasa in the match we saw with Black Panther, going for another quick pin here, only a 2 count. So we know it's a devastating strike to take, but the heart, the resiliency, the toughness of Vanguard, kicking out of 2 of those so far, absolutely not taking this match lying down. Might have been willing to walk out a moment ago, but as soon as he got forced back into this ring, it was like he was backed into a corner, and it just made him more dangerous. Ooh, missed a strike. Looked like he was running for a forearm there. And that miss might have cost him big time. Ooh, busted open. Vanguard with that elbow. Another Wakanda Sunrise. Spiking him on the back of his head. And now a knee into the back of the skull. Continuing to work the head. Focusing on the now bleeding head region. Oh, nearly 2.9 again just off the knee to the back of the head. He could be risking a concussion. We don't know what kind of damage has been done to the skull. Kicking, go for another third Wakanda Kinshasa. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Somehow 3 Kinshasas across the face, and he somehow keeps kicking out. This is what Daredevil has to contend with in the rematch for the Vigilante Championship, is this kind of toughness. Bicycle knee avoided. Oh, wait a minute. Snapmare, though. Not letting Black Panther pounce on the opportunity. Pun not intended, but embraced. Now stomping away into it. Oh, springboard leg drop across the torso. Back into the corner. Could be seeing another bicycle knee attempt. If he can nail this. Boom! Down goes King T'Challa. 1, 2, 3, and the next Centurion has usurped the King of Wakanda with that knee strike. Excellent, excellent match between those two. 3 Wakanda Kinshasas to the face of the challenger Vanguard, but it's not enough to keep him down. In the end, bicycle knee strike puts down a very, very game Black Panther. Congratulations to Vanguard. Obviously, this looks to be an incredible rematch between Vanguard and Daredevil for the Vigilante Championship. That is going to be one to watch, I promise you. If the first encounter between these two is any indication, I think this is going to be a sleeper match of the night for that pay-per-view at Infinity. But we can't dwell on just the one match. We got more to come. And to round off our first half of Fight Night here, we have tag team action. Obviously, we saw that multi-tag team bout to determine the future #1 contenders to Hydra's Earth's Mightiest Tag Team Championships. That would be Captain America and Winter Soldier of S.H.I.E.L.D. But in the process, a great deal took place. There was a lot of chaos. Ricky Refshirt, as you see in the ring right now, took a lot of bumps. Unfortunate. But there was also a miscommunication that could have cost the Brotherhood the match. Juggernaut and Sabertooth. Juggernaut breaking up a pin by Sabertooth at one point. Because of that, and because of the large body of Juggernaut taking the pin and being difficult to reach thanks to Captain America being in the way while others were trying to break up that pin, many in that match pointing the finger of blame at the Brotherhood for allowing S.H.I.E.L.D. to walk away with the win, as Sabertooth and Juggernaut look to refute that fact by picking up a win over one of those teams. That team about to make their way to the ring, one of the most vocal in claiming that the Brotherhood was the weak link in this matchup, are Venome and Carnage, the Symbiotes. Venome and Carnage firmly stating that they should have won that match. Of course, every team likely thinking so. But boiling it down to the ineptitude of the Brotherhood, which has been suffering ever since Magneto's loss to the Hulk at Bulletproof. We've seen a very steep and sharp downward spiral, going from relatively undefeated as a unit, save for the occasional loss of Mystique, to struggling for victories. But now they attempt to turn that around. I won't sing it this time, I promise. As Sabertooth, becomes a brick wall as Carnage runs right into him. Both men coming out of the gates aggressive, as expected. These are two wild teams, two feral types of opponents on either side of the ring. Very aggressive, very temper-based, wild. Not going to see a lot of restraint and technical wrestling from these four. Into a submission already is the symbiote known as Carnage. Sweeping the legs as Sabertooth gets back to his feet. Obviously the power definitely favors heavily the Brotherhood. Sabertooth and Juggernaut, the more large and powerful of the units. Venome, nothing to scoff at in the power department, nor is Carnage. But because of the sheer size difference and how the power dampeners affect that, I have to imagine going to use that power to the best of their ability. Oh, this could be bad for Carnage. Oh! Rolling. It looked like a rolling sweep from Juggernaut and a European uppercut from Sabertooth. Interesting little innovative tag team combat from Brotherhood. Normally don't see them use such such strike-based acrobatic. I wouldn't say it's acrobatic, but it's definitely more agile than we're used to seeing from such big men. Now Juggernaut working over Carnage, using that leverage and that size. Looks like he got hung up on the bottom rope there from the escape. Juggernaut has the most to prove here, obviously, with the miscommunication that cost his team the match. Stomping on Sabertooth while he was pinning one of their opponents. Getting caught up in the chaos. Oh, big running helmeted headbutt. Looked like he caught the jaw of Carnage. Broken up at a 2. And now Venome. Oh, looked like he was going to pick up Sabertooth. Juggernaut peeled him off. And now everybody in the ring. Utter havoc. Oh, we could see the battering ram. Boom! Just levels Carnage. Doesn't have any backup, though. Far away in enemy territory as he could possibly be, but it's not enough. Venome breaks up the pin. Downside of having your partner downed on the outside there. A bit of a redundant tongue twister. Now it's just Carnage and Juggernaut in the ring. But as we said, a lot to prove for Juggernaut here. Felt like the weak link of the match. Of course, was the one pinned, which you have to imagine upset him. Not know. Oh, was going for a low blow and booted in the face. Readings on that symbiote say its user is bloodied underneath. That was a huge. That was like a size 20 boot to the face. Looked like he was gonna go for the DQ right there. Just screw the rules. Was about to hit that forearm to the giblets, the man bits, the Juggernaut jewels. But Juggernaut saw it coming and just booted Carnage right in the face. Aggressively at that. Enough to bust him open. Might have a broken nose under that symbiote. Maybe a few missing teeth. If there's anyone you don't want to take a boot from, somebody the size of Juggernaut. The quickness to respond, though. Avoid that low blow. Oof! Big shot to the stomach, maybe the kidneys even. Flooring Carnage. Carnage has taken a lot of abuse in this match. I don't think he's tagged out to Venom once, which could have a downside if they can keep Carnage isolated. Of course, that heavily favors the Brotherhood. Already at a 5 count. They need to be careful all this beeling around that they're not counted out. But if they can isolate Carnage, that heavily favors the Brotherhood. Oh, already taking some time to rest and making a crucial mistake here. Venom making the tag. And now Venom is the freshest man of the 4 in this matchup. It's taking the least amount of damage, which is what I was about to say is what they needed to avoid. Now, obviously, Juggernaut and Sabertooth have taken a moderate amount of damage each. If Venom can stay the freshest man in the ring, he has the best chance of putting away the Brotherhood. He's having trouble just getting Juggernaut off his feet, though, but you can see the exhaustion in Juggernaut's body. Oh, big running headbutt. Tackling Venom. Venom just cannot get Juggernaut off his feet. Powerbomb. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Oh, but right into the Boston Crab submission. We saw this during the multi-tag match. Of course, the problem was they had inadvertently knocked out Ricky Refshirt, which made it impossible for anybody to call pins or submissions during that maneuver, which unfortunately backfired on the Brotherhood. Ricky Refshirt, as you can see, doing just fine, though. Got him medical attention. He is A-OK. He might be on a lot of painkillers at the moment and morphine, but I promise you, he's totally fine to call this match. Juggernaut using that power, shoving aside Venom. It's not often Venom is overpowered, but having to get used to the downgrade in power from these power dampeners, something all the competitors have to get used to. Very few, except those with no powers at all, operating on full capacity that they're normally accustomed to. Oh, DDT! What a reversal at the last second from Venom during that military press. The early edge in the very first weeks for those like Daredevil and other vigilantes was obvious, but now that all of our competitors have gotten used to the way that things work in these arenas, seeing a lot more superstars come back and show their stuff, getting used to the circumstances, becoming dominant, adapting so quickly. You need to learn to adapt here in MFW. It's adapt or die. I don't think anybody said that before. Pretty sure it's not on any t-shirts. Totally made that up. Carnage here, apparently just staring at a prone Juggernaut, waiting for his moment to strike. Never know really what's going on in the head of Cletus Cassidy, so wouldn't attempt to venture a guess. Tag made here. Oh, looks like we might see that tag team finisher inverted. Normally the Muscle Buster Venom's maneuver. Carnage using it here. And now Venom going to go for Carnage's Carnivore Stomp. Plants it right in the chest of the giant Juggernaut, going for the pin. Wait a minute. Sabertooth. It's a 3 count. Sabertooth looked like he was about to get in the ring to break it up and then just stopped. I'm not sure why he second guessed it. Maybe he thought Juggernaut would kick out on his own, or maybe he just wanted to leave. Maybe he also believes Juggernaut's the weak link and left him to his fate. I don't know what to say there, but after the tag team finisher, very clear moment where Sabertooth seemed to stop himself from saving Juggernaut, and the result is Symbiotes win. Symbiotes continue to show dominant tag team effectiveness in the ring. But we move on towards part 2. Make sure to come back, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all the fun stuff I always tell you to do. Thank you once again for joining me, and I am your host, Roman Empire. Have a good one, and be good to each other, alright?